watching CNBC TV 18 special show on election results 2009. We have very distinguished guests with us. Mallika Sarabhai, Meghnad Desai, Santosh Desai, Venkatesh, Rakeysh, Mehra and Jayprakash. Now, if the results dented the confidence of some and demolished the reputations of others, it also validated icons overnight. But before I get into that, I know that everybody here wants to continue that conversation on identity politics. Mallika, quickly, you wanted to come in on the fact that identity doesn't have to be negative, right?
Yes, why are we always reducing our own identities to just caste or religion? This is what politicians have done, and this is what we seem to be doing as well. And I think identity can be a lot other things besides that.
Exactly.
Yeah, Rakeysh, go ahead.
Yeah, I completely agree with Mallika here. And that's exactly what the people have said, that your identity is not just merely caste and creed. It's much more than that. It's your action. And that is the new emerging identity. So that's why identity is good as far as I think what's happening is as far as is equal to your positive actions.
Okay.
And
Meghnad Desai?
Yeah. No, the results can be summarized. It's not just identity, you also need idlis. People want something more than just identity.
Okay, let's get into the heroes that have come out this year. Rakeysh, Mehra, you create heroes who capture popular imagination. Who was hero number one for you in elections 2009 among the class of politicians? Because, you know, as a class, you don't see heroes in this business.
I have two, actually.
Okay, go ahead.
And both of them are not young. One is Manmohan Singh and one is L.K. Advani. I think both stood by what their thought process was, and one gained and one lost. But at the same time, it was very interesting to see two giants at battle.
Okay. Santosh Desai, you know, in the run-up to the elections, to underscore your point, now everybody knows everything and we all got it finally. But, you know, Rahul Gandhi was seen as somewhere between naive at best and simple-minded at worst. You remember the Kalavati references and speech that everybody went to town with. And then on the other hand, foolhardy, lacking political intelligence, i.e. going alone in UP and Bihar. Do you think there is a lesson in here for us in the media, for for us as a people, in the way we create our icons and role models? We want heroes instantly. You either get it right now or you get out.
I think it's you know, when you construct heroes in celebrity molds, instead of basing the idea of heroism in terms of actions, then the story precedes the understanding. So story around Rahul Gandhi and the myth that you build around him comes from the fact that he's young, and there is so much talk about young India, and so you don't see beyond the fact that he is not just a representative of the youth, but that he has a certain amount of earnestness and a certain amount of grassroots action also. And actually the worldview that Rahul Gandhi comes from, at least from whatever one can sense, is not the simplistic modern India, let's take it forward, let's industrialize alone. I think there is texture to that, to how he sees the world. I think you misreading that simply because we are being guided by the larger story around Rahul Gandhi, and that's an easy thing to sort of put his youth against him and to play that the naivete out. It is an easy story. So I think on both sides you can make heroes too easily, and you can sort of not give enough credit equally, because you're not really reading people through their actions, but only through their auras.
All right. Meghnad Desai, can I take a guess and say that you would pick Manmohan Singh, and that all questions about his strength or the lack of it have been put to rest now?
Yes, but I want to say something else. Sonia Gandhi has to be the political genius in India. To come from outside, to learn a language, to learn a culture, to master its politics, to restore the old firm which had been dilapidated 25 years ago. That is an achievement, and I know people hate her for being a Pardesi and all that, but what a stunning achievement. And of course she supported Manmohan. She did not
so she got in the professional CEO into the old firm, isn't it?
Exactly, and a very innovative division of labor, whereby she handles politics and he handles and the BJP could not understand efficiency of this arrangement, so they went on about him being a weak prime minister. One more, and that is Nitish Kumar. He was my hero.
Okay. Venkatesh, Sharad Pawar, who may have been PM if all those, projections earlier on and all the uncertainty earlier on had come true, he's gone down the pecking order. He's not just not going to be PM. He's completely, slided down the pecking order when it comes to the Congress allies within the UPA, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think this election is very, really given the NCP the kind of place that it deserves, because I think for a very long time NCP has been bullying around both the Congress in Maharashtra, as well as talking about their candidate being the Prime Minister candidate. I think this election is very clearly indicated that NCP has to play a second fiddle for the moment.
Right. Okay, Jayprakash, lots of leaders and lots and reams of airtime and newsprint column spent on them. Narendra Modi, Mayawati, Jayalalitha. Who for you signifies the winners of 2009 in terms of role models and icons, political icons for the people of India?
I would name three. I would agree with Dr. Lord Meghnad Desai. The Sonia Manmohan duo, in the time of relative economic decline and rising unemployment, to buck the anti-establishment trend, and now, as Santosh said, no, it's very easy to be very bright and wise in hindsight, but to actually fight it out, whether it's on the nuclear deal, we may agree, may not agree, but take a stand on an issue, and then to lose many allies in the bargain. And yet buck the trend, and after 20 years to bring back stability where you don't have to make day-to-day compromises for survival. I think it's a remarkable story.
You said
the second
three,
is, again, as Lord Desai said, our Bihar Chief Minister Nitish. If Bihar dies, India dies. I have no doubt whatsoever. Sitting here in the south of India, I recognize that every part of India, particularly the large regions which lead to tremendous migration because of poverty and so on and so forth, unless we take care of them, we are in serious peril. And many people don't recognize the dangers of huge migration because of abject poverty, low level of skills, and urban congestion, and so on and so forth. Therefore, this heroic attempt being made in Bihar to try and rejuvenate the state and bring back some degree of sanity and some semblance of order and some dignity to human lives, I think is a phenomenal thing, and we all must support it across the party lines. The third hero to me, at least from Andhra Pradesh perspective, is the young middle class citizen. There's a tremendous upsurge now. It's not visible in much of India. In Mumbai city there's a lot of angst, but not really political action. But in Andhra Pradesh I see it dramatically manifested in this election, and it's only going to grow. There is a sense of the second freedom struggle. Many young people are saying, look, we'll not take this nonsense any longer. Maybe because there's a platform available in the form of Lok Satta, but there's a tremendous upsurge, a moral upsurge. And I think if we know how to harness this constructively and creatively and make it durable, we'll see a change in India.
Mallika, quickly react to the left parties and the defeat. Is it a verdict against, the ideology and policies, or is it perhaps, superficially maybe, but a verdict against the fact that they always seem to be claiming moral high ground as if it's their natural born right, and not really participating in politics and therefore taking responsibility?
Yes, I think it's that, and I think Prakash Karat epitomizes that I'm miffed by your shenanigans kind of attitude, and I think that's what we are seeing.
Santosh Desai, quickly before the break, Narendra Modi?
I think Narendra Modi, clearly, the limitations of Narendra Modi have been exposed. I think, and also the fact that I think it's a real dilemma for the BJP, because at one level he represents the great white hope in the fact that, when you talk about strength, and what gets attributed to him seems to be that. On the other hand, the ability for him, his ability to polarize votes in a dramatic kind of a way means that, if you are in this for, to form coalitions, you have a very, very poor chance of doing that with Modi at the helm of affairs. So while, to some extent, the Gujarat story continues for Modi. For him to transcend that and become a national player, I think there are some serious impediments that have been exposed in these elections.
All right, Santosh, let's take another break here. When we come back, we're asking, what do the people need to do next? Stay with us.